Yeah, baby, those are freaking ducks, baby. Those are freaking ducks, baby. Maui boo. Maui boo. What's up, everybody? Christopher Greene here. Alive. What's up? My goal is to entertain all you guys while I make your first million. This year, I'm going to tell you exactly how you can do it. What the Federal Reserve and the central bank is going to do, baby. But first we get started, like and share this video. Okay, so we know what the Fed is going to do. They're going to print, baby, print. This ducky knows this. It told me earlier. Going to print, baby, print. This is what Jerome Powell is going to do. So this is very easy to understand. Keep in mind that the Federal Reserve, the base rate here in the United States is still 3 to like 3.5%. They're only going to hike to 5%, ladies and gentlemen, only to 5. So I want you to think about this for a little bit of a minute. The next hike, okay, coming this week is 75 bips. That's basis points, for those of you who don't know that. 75 bips. Now, it's expected that Jerome Powell is going to hike, okay, not 1,000x, but a little baby. He's got little shriveled little baby nuts. Those are little shriveled. You can kind of flick them a little bit. They're not the diamond nuts. They're not the diamond nuts, ladies and gentlemen. He's not going to the moon like we are, like you are, like Island Project Club. So here's what he's going to do. He's going to take it to about 5%. So they're expecting these little bitty little shriveled nuts to 75 basis points. Then they're going to stop. That's going to take the Fed funds rate, ladies and gentlemen, to 5%, essentially still at zero. So here's how you're going to profit from this. Expect permanent hyperinflation here in the United States and the westernized world. Permanent hyperinflation for the rest of your life. And it sounds hyperbolic, but this is actually the truth. Inflation is permanent. Just like it's been permanent for many of you baby boomers out there, inflation has been a permanent tenet of the last several decades. Now, let me tell you what also is going to promote this hyperinflation, okay, that they're causing. It's the sanctions. It's the sanctions. I just tweeted a report a couple minutes ago, me and Ducky here, me and the Duck Master. By the way, we just put out a new video at school. At the club, I released 2 new picks you've never heard of before. 2 picks you can scale in today to make your first $1 million in these coming moves. No BS. Join the school. Join the club. Learn as much as you can. But we had a report come out earlier, and I just tweeted this. U.S. troops are now on the ground in Ukraine for the first time. They're calling them, ladies and gentlemen, inspectors, like Inspector Gadget. But what that really means is U.S. troops, okay? The U.S. funding the war, $100 billion freaking dollars, ladies and gentlemen, doling out that money to Ukraine all day long to that non-NATO country. This means U.S. troops are on the ground. Now, as a result of the sanctions, ladies and gentlemen, this guarantees inflation. This is why they can't stop it. So, in all seriousness, this is what I'm expecting Jerome. Hey, Jerome, how you doing, girlfriend? This is what I expect him to do this week. I think he's going to talk it up. He's going to sound really tough, right? He's going to read that teleprompter and say, our primary goal is to target inflation. We're really a hawk. We're hawkish. We're so strong and powerful. Oh, we're going to hike those rates. We're going to continue to hike those rates, guys. Right? But really what he's telling you is he's going to soften. He's going to soften. The language is softening, guys. Again, these are really shriveled little baby nutsos. Okay, so they're going to soften that. Then they're going to continue the bailouts. Then they're going to continue the hyperinflation. They're going to continue the trillions of dollars worth of worthless money that continues to be printed at the Federal Reserve and the central bank. And of course, this ties into the economic, financial, monetary, fiscal policy that they've intended in the first place. So what does this mean? Let's talk about actions. This is why crypto, guys, crypto is real money. That dirty fiat cash that Jerome Powell likes. Dance for me, baby. Dance for me, Jerome. Hike those rates 75 basis points, baby. See, that's the dirty inflationary fiat trash. It's the 0% interest rate, Fed funds rate at like 3.5%. It's only going to go to 5. They don't have the balls. You don't have the guts, Jerome, to raise more than 5%. So I'm calling you out now. I already know what's going to happen, and this is how you're going to get rich. Expect the pause as we're seeing across credit markets right now, because this impacts mortgage rates, it impacts credit cards, it impacts auto loans, it impacts consumer debt. Expect them to stop, okay, right around 5%. So we're going to get a pause. We're already seeing this across the country. There's a little bit of a pause, but then things are going to explode once again. So you've got to expect hyperinflation in this country. And understand, just like energy and natural gas is 15x in places like Czech Republic from where it was a year ago. Places in Europe are 7 to 15 times, okay, what it used to be for natural gas. Trust this plan. In fact, I expect governments to start saying things like, you're selfish if you don't want to freeze this winter in Europe. Like they'll say, well, you know, just get a fur coat and get a couple blankets. And if you don't go along with this plan of freezing or paying 15 times the normal energy bill, well, then you're just not in it with us together. I mean, you know, just listen to what we're doing here with all these sanctions. So also oil executives came out over the last 24 hours and had this to say, that it's not just 2022 that they're worried about, along with me and my duckies here and my swan, it's 2023. So they're expecting that in 2023, there's going to be monster, God forbid, civil unrest in Europe and the United States as this sets in and people realize inflation is here to stay, because you have to understand the overall game plan. And what is the game plan? They need to incentivize UBI, universal basic income, and incentivize the collapse. The only way they can do that is through pain. So they cause the pain as the master puppet masters. They implement the sanctions. They blame the war. They put the troops on the ground, and they spin the dirty fiat trash. Okay, and this is why I want you to take advantage of this. Everybody's saying, oh, there's going to be deflation. We're expecting more of a crash. No, I'm not expecting any of that. The only thing you can count on is 1,000x bailouts in this country and total manipulation and debt. That means that risk assets are about to soar. Cryptocurrency market, notice the Dogecoin, guys, was up 100% since I called it. A lot of you made a lot of money on the Dogecoin, and I just put out 2 more picks, which I think could do just the same. It's an accumulation period. It's an accumulation zone. This is when you want to be FOMOing in and buying and getting into things like the club. So this is what I see happening. It's all lies, okay? The Fed, which lied to the American public, said inflation was transitory, is lying now. So they're going to sound terse, okay? They're going to sound like they're going to be really tough, but they're not. It's just a war of words and propaganda. Again, Jerome Powell doesn't even have his own thoughts, okay? It's a teleprompter that's given to him by the establishment so he can puppet out whatever language to Wall Street and the hedge fund managers that already have the information on the inside so that they can profit from it. That's exactly how this works. So very, very bullish. And check out those 2 picks at the club at school today. Well worth your time at the club. That's islandprojectclub.com. Make sure you get into that. And I also did a serious video this morning because, you know, I want to entertain you guys too. Like, have a good time. You know, you've only got one life to live. I mean, people haven't had enough fun in the last couple of years. So I encourage you guys to go out there and have fun. Let's see what we have going on in politics. Bibi out in Israel is rising again. Looks like he's going to be elected to a 3rd term. Also, too, Trump will be indicted, in my opinion, very soon, right after the midterms, again, to coax the American masses into the fake paradigm of the 2-party illusion of the system, which isn't even real. It's just all fakery. You know, gives people the idea that if things aren't going right in their lives for the country, they can blame a politician and then get the other guy in, and then nothing changes, and then get the other person in. Nothing ever changes. It's a revolving door on Wall Street. Just like Janet Yellen used to be the Federal Reserve chairwoman, and now she's the U.S. Treasury Secretary, because it's all the same people, whether or not it's the Bushes or the Clintons or the Bidens, an extension of Obama. I mean, Trump was the real wild card, even though he was reality TV and a billionaire. But look how they're going after him, because I guess he wasn't playing ball like many of us had thought. So how to profit from this? Again, inflation is here to stay. The Federal Reserve is going to backtrack, and they're going to continue to bail out, and they're eventually going to reverse policy. So really what we need to be looking towards is December, not just what's happening now. It's what they're going to do by the end of the year. So obviously with U.S. troops on the ground, it should be just apparent to everybody that the World War is here. We're in it now. This is 4th, 5th generation warfare. This is what's been going on over the last couple of years. It's an economic, financial reset. It's a psychological reset. We're fighting spiritual warfare as we speak. So
Anyways, I just encourage you, take advantage of the opportunity and FOMO now before everybody else, because people are really going to start FOMOing, honestly, in the next couple of months, especially when they see Bitcoin and its low volatility. That's actually a bullish sign, guys, right now. That's an absolute bullish sign. All right, guys, that's it. That was just my Federal Reserve report. Take it to heart, though. I want you to understand that the Fed is going to backtrack. Inflation is here to stay. Hyperinflation is permanent. So plan for that and realize there's going to be more of a panic into real assets, especially non-sovereign state assets like Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, the island project. You want to get into this blockchain tech because this is where it's all going. Again, this is all a part of the master design plan of the new internet that they DARPA, just like the internet, open sourced, okay, so they could transition it all to the new technology. You're probably reading things about, XRP right now and the reset of the monetary system and cross-border remittance payments, and you're hearing things about the metaverse. And by the way, there's key ways to profit from that. You can profit immensely. Crypto is the only place in the world you can 1000x literally from nothing with no barrier to entry, as long as you know what you're doing and you have a blueprint for your success. So anyways, this is the White Swan event, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know where Swanee went. He's over there. this is the White Swan event. Okay, so you want to be playing to the moonshot right now. Understand it's counterintuitive. All your friends, they're planning that for economic collapse. They're planning for deflation. They're all wrong. All these pundits are wrong. I'm telling you, play the diamond nuts right now. Realize we're going to the moon. Okay, and you're going to 1000x yourself by being smarter than the central bank, the Federal Reserve, and the brainwashing propaganda system that is the mainstream media. Once you start thinking for yourself, you can take action, aggressive action, change your mindset, and you can go to the moon, along here with my ducky friend. So anyways, guys, links below. You can watch my last 2 videos that I put out this week, and I just put out a video yesterday at the club, another huge benefit to being in an island project with 2 new picks you haven't heard of yet to get in and start stacking in the accumulation phase. Everything's green lit here. All my indicators are going off like wildfire. I'm accumulating. My students are accumulating, and congrats to all of you that went 100% on the Dogecoin. We're actually up again today. So we're going to see more of these moves, and I'm expecting the whole crypto market to 10x, ladies and gentlemen, because again, the only trash is fiat. Cryptocurrency and blockchain tech is real money, created with an actual technology and algorithms to back it. Miners around the world that confirm Bitcoins as digital gold. That's where the real value is. Governments know this around the world, and this is why Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, Ray Dalio, and others, and all the billionaires in the world are all in. You see, it's just retail and the non-general, the general public that it takes them a while to understand the truth. They're going to start waking up to this reality probably by the time we're hitting new all-time highs and new tops. Anyways, guys, hardcore truth. That's what the Fed is going to do. Expect a 75 basis point hike. Expect harsh words, but it's all lies. It's all lies. They'll eventually start cutting, and then they'll blame something, right? It'll be an unforeseen event while they have to start cutting. There'll be a reason for that next bailout round. There's always a problem or something that they couldn't foresee, an economic collapse somewhere, which is why they've got to bail stuff out. And so they'll make something up. They'll make up some fake problem. Who knows what it is? Nukes, EMPs, the war on the ground, whatever. It'll be the excuse for them to pump even more, to continue to transfer the wealth and manipulate this market to collapse the petrodollar and, of course, reset us into the new digital dollar CBD system led by China, because China's leading the way. And, of course, big tech has been investing billions into China and helping them build out their new internet. In fact, that's what Elon Musk is doing with Twitter. He's going to turn it into the American version of WeChat, which is a payment integrated system. It's basically a surveillance system that the Chinese government uses. They're just selling it here in the United States like it's like a freedom version of it, but it's not. It's the same mass surveillance state in Orwellian web that they've got in China. No different. This is why every country in the world implemented the same policies as every other country over the last several years, because All countries are in this together. They're making the same, there's slight differences in how they roll it out and sell it, but it's the same agenda across every single country, whether or not it's the United States or China. Exactly the same, in my humble opinion. They have the same darn policies, and they shut down the world just like every other country did as well. So again, that's just the hard-hitting and in-your-face truth. So just understand the way to pivot, leverage, and profit is you've got to be a cynic here, and you've got to realize everybody's wrong about this deflationary collapse. That's not going to happen. Hyperinflation is here to stay. I was telling you months ago that this was extremely obvious, and we've been profiting since then, and I encourage you guys to profit now. So build your portfolio, build that up, and get my 1000x picks, guys. We just put it out yesterday. You can check it out. I'll include links here below to the club and more. I want to see you there. A big hoorah to all of our Island Project members as well. Just onboarded a few of you. And by the way, a great opportunity for the Island Project to get into the private placement. You can roll your IRA over to the Island Project. We have many of you doing that. So get out of these retirement accounts that are paying nothing, that might be locked up in a bank, and then get it into real hard assets and real estate that are producing cash flows in the blessed place also in the world, beautiful Maui Boo. Anyways, guys, I love you. God bless. Jesus Christ is King. Links below, and please like and share this video around the world. I just told you the truth.